All right, welcome to day number two. I'm a little bit different time today, but we're talking about stop hiding what you have. That is our focus for this entire 3, 4 days that I'm going live to encourage someone to stop hiding what they have. And listen, I believe this topic, this encouragement to stop hiding what you have is important for so many of us. So many talented people, so many gifted individuals, so many creative people, people with ideas and abilities. We are hiding what we have. And if you are a religious and spiritual person, sometimes that hiding looks like very religious language. So we've talked about this before. We use words like we try to be super humble. So we talk about, that's not a big deal. I don't have much of anything. We do a lot of self deprecation. We do a lot of comparison and we say, I don't have what that person has. And we keep going over and over and we try to position it as being humble. But I want to tell you, it's not humility, it's hiding. And that's bad stewardship. And we're going to talk about that some more. I'm here this entire week. My goal is to just stir someone up. If I could physically shake you, this is me shaking you, saying, stop hiding what God has given you. There is something that you have that is valuable, that the world needs, that someone needs, that God has put inside of you. And the language that you use is very much like the servant in Matthew chapter 25. And that's what we're talking about, talking about all week. Matthew chapter 25, verse 14 to verse 30. Matthew chapter 25, verse 14 to verse 30. And our theme is stop hiding what you have. Stop hiding what you have. If you're with me, just go ahead and put a good morning in the chat. Just say something. Let me know that you're with me. But I want to talk to you about why we hide. And I said this yesterday, and I'll say it again for the benefit of those who are watching this for the first time. Matthew 25, there are three servants. They're given different amount of talents, 5, 2, and 1. The person with 5, he did something with it. With 2, did something with it. The 1, he went and he hid it in the ground. And then he said some things about the master. And maybe you don't say those things. You don't say it out loud. But your actions may mirror the actions of the person who had 1 talent, where we dig and we hide it. And we're hiding that ability to speak. We're hiding that message. We're hiding that story we have. We're hiding that expertise that so many people tell you you have. You're hiding it. And you're hiding it behind religious language. And I want to just tell you, stop hiding. So, yesterday, day number one, we talked about reason number one that we hide. And reason number one was simply this: I don't know the value of what I have. I don't know the value of what I have. And that's some of us. We don't know the value. We think what I have is not a big deal. Maybe we've done the comparison and ours looks like 1 compared to someone with 2. It looks like 1. It looks like a little bit compared to someone with 5. But I want you to understand that a talent in that parable is not just $1, it's a huge sum of money. And sometimes we underestimate the value of what we have. And something we said yesterday that I want to linger with you just a little bit. That talent, his option, instead of burying, the master said you could have put it with the bank and the bank would have given me interest, which means interest is someone needs that thing that you have. Instead of you putting it under your pillow, you put it with the bank. What the bank does is they lend it to someone. That person will borrow it from the bank and they will begin using it to do something that they need. Some of us have borrowed money to buy a house, some of us to buy a car, maybe to start a business, to send our kids to college. But understand, if you stop sitting on it, then someone can have access to it, even for a limited time, and it can make a difference in their life. And I want you to understand the thing that you are sitting on, it's not just affecting you, it's affecting all the people that could have access to it, even for a short period of time, that it could actually change their life. And I want you to recognize that what you have can change someone's life. This, by the way, if this is a blessing to you so far, just share this live with someone. Just go ahead and tag them if you are watching it on Instagram or YouTube, or just share it. Just share the video with someone so that they can be blessed as well. So, We're talking about stop hiding what you have. We're looking at Matthew chapter 14, 25, verse 14 to 30. And reason number one we looked at is I don't know the value of what I have. But I want to talk about reason number two. And maybe you know the value. Maybe you know that what you have is valuable, but you are still hiding. And I think we can pull out reason number two from the passage today, which is I don't want to do the work. Reason number two, I don't want to do the work. I know no one's going to put that in the chat. No one's going to agree with me in the chat. And maybe you might get offended already, but before you log off, hear me out. I want you to understand something about this passage. There are three servants, and it says that the one who was given 1 talent, it said, and I'm going to find it here, he who received the 1 talent went and dug in the ground and hid his master's money. Now, let's just pause right there. I just said one of the reasons we hide the thing that we have been given is we don't want to do the work. But you just read something that he dug a hole, which means that took work. He buried the talent. That took work. He protected it. That took work. And one of the things I want you to see right up front, the issue wasn't work. The issue was he was unwilling to do the kind of work that the multiplication that this talent could produce would require. He was unwilling to do the kind of work that multiplication required. Now, the hiding of your talents, truthfully, you've been doing a lot of work doing that. Telling people it's not a big deal, trying to make yourself small, not show up, even playing it safe requires a certain amount of work. And a lot of times we work hard at protecting our gift. We work hard at making excuses and explaining why now isn't the time. We work hard at hiding. But the hiding work and the work of maximizing what you've been given are two different types of work. And I want to share with you today the type of work it's going to require from you in order to maximize the thing that God has given you. I believe that every person who is listening to me, you have something that's been given by God. You have expertise. You have a story of struggle. You have a story of overcoming. You have a story of success. You have a certain level of innovation and creativity and ingenuity. You have a certain ability to connect with people and influence people. And many of us are hiding that thing. And maybe you're hiding it because you've looked at people and people talk about others who are using their gifts, and we look and we make jokes on them and we talk about them in such negative ways, and you don't want to be talked about that way. And so you've been hiding. And I want to just tell you today to come out of hiding. In fact, put that in the comments for someone, right? Come out of hiding. Come out of hiding the thing that God has given you. So I want to talk about 3 types of things that you are going to need to multiply what God has given you. There are 3 types of things you're going to need. The first is multiplication requires connection. Multiplication requires connection. Now, here's what I mean by that. One of the things that jumps out to me in this story is the one who was given 1 talent. Bible says he went and dug in the ground and he hid his master's money. He hid his master's money. But the one who received 5 talents went at once and traded with them, and he made 5 talents more. And something that just stuck out to me, the servants who multiplied their talents, they did not do it alone. They said they traded. Trading requires getting other people involved. Doing business is not something you do by yourself. You got to involve other people. And growth requires getting other people involved. You can bury a talent by yourself. You cannot multiply what you have by yourself. You can bury your gifts by yourself. In isolation, in staying by yourself, in staying to yourself, but you cannot multiply what you have. You can't increase your income and your impact all by yourself. And that's where some of us, we get stuck. We want to have impact, we want to have influence, but we don't want exposure. We don't want to interact with people. We want to keep our stuff to ourselves. But if you're going to maximize what God has given you, eventually somebody has to know about it. All right. I want to wave at you. You, the person that right now you got something inside of you that God has given you, and you don't want to tell anyone about it. As one of my friends says, I don't want people in my business. You don't want anyone to know what you can do. It's amazing to me in my coaching work. There are times we'll be in a coaching group and there are people who know each other, people who've known each other for years. I go to churches and I share, and someone will say, this is what I do. This is what I'm good at. And someone who's known them for a long time will be totally surprised to hear it. And it's because they've been keeping it so much under wraps and so quiet that even people who know them don't have the ability and the understanding of what they do and what they can do. And if you're going to maximize what God has given you, eventually somebody has to know about it. And so here's what I want to say. You have to share the idea. Multiplication requires connection. You got to share the idea with someone. You got to share your story with someone. You have to share what you're good at, your expertise with someone. You got to tell somebody what you can do. You see, here is what a lot of us are struggling with. We see our deficiencies. And so maybe you say, I'm not good at social media. And in order to build my business, I need to be on social media. I'm not good at social media, so I'm not going to do anything with this idea. I know I need to get someone who can write because I'm not a good, we say, I'm not a good writer. Or we'll say, I'm not good at social media. I'm not good at marketing. And I'm not good at this. And what we immediately think to ourselves is, my deficiencies, my lack, the things I don't know how to do, it means I need to stop. And here's what I want you to understand. If you're going to multiply what you have, it doesn't mean you have to go learn everything and know everything and be good at everything, but it means you've got to connect with other people who have strengths in the area of your weakness. You have to find people who can do the things that you can't do. You've got to connect. You got to find people. Get around a coach, someone who can guide you along the way and walk with you along the way, someone who has been where you want to go. We need to stop making the excuse, I can't do something with this because of this thing I'm deficient in, and actually stop asking how and start asking who. Who do I need to connect with? Who do I need to learn from? Who do I need to bring on my team to help me with this? You see, in order to multiply what you have, you can't do it by yourself. The servant who started off with 1 talent, dug a hole in the ground all by himself, hid his talent all by himself. The servants who multiplied what they had, they got connected. They started trading. They started having conversations with people in the marketplace, saying, this is what I have. What do you have? How can we trade? This is what I have. What do you want for it? What do you have? How can I get my hands on what you have that I don't have, that can add to what I have to make what I have better? And that's what a lot of us need to do. We need to start having conversations. We have to start making connections. All right. So the first thing I want to just challenge someone is, you've got to start making some connections. Stop making the excuse, I don't have it, so I won't do it. I can't do that thing. No. Start asking the question, who can do the thing that I can't do? I'll just talk to someone real plain as I can right now. You're saying to yourself, I don't know how to do social media. Do you have a person in your life, a younger person in your life, a child, a nephew, a grandchild, somebody at your church who you see them on social media? Say, well, I need to connect with you because I need you to run my social media. You're saying I'm not good at sales, but you know someone who has a bubbly personality. They can sell iced and Eskimo. Listen, I need you on my team. Maybe you say to yourself, I don't know how to do that thing. Well, find a coach, someone who can guide you in that process. So multiplication requires connection. The second thing that fascinates me about this, And I'll just say the point: multiplication requires creativity. Multiplication requires creativity. The part that fascinates me is it says that the master gave 5 talents to one, two to another, two to another one, to each according to his ability. Then he went away. Then he went away. Now, this blows my mind, and I hope you are seeing this. He gives them these large amounts of money and responsibility. He leaves and he does not give any instructions. There's no blueprint, there's no business plan, there's no video series to watch, there is no step by step checklist, there is nothing. He simply entrusts them with what he has. And this is what might be uncomfortable for a lot of us. He gives someone 5, he gives someone 2, he gives another one 1. He does not tell them what to do with it, and he does not tell them how to do what they're going to do with it. He doesn't tell them how. So there's no what, there's no how, there are no instructions, and that's uncomfortable for some of us because we want exact instructions. We want turn by turn directions. We want to know exactly what to do. We want the measurements for how to make the thing and how long of the timer should it be. And this is where it gets uncomfortable for us, because what this actually says is that the master trusted them. And I want someone just type the word trust in the comments. Type the word trust in the comments, because I want you to see that God trusts you. It's the word trust. If the master didn't trust him, he would have stayed. He would have put someone over them. He would have made sure he was coming back on a regular basis. He was gone on a long journey for a long time and did not leave any instructions because, yes, Ayana, he trusted them. And here's a word I want to give somebody today. Some of us, we are waiting on a command from God with something he has already empowered you to do. He gave you resources. He gave you freedom. And here's some things that he's given you. He's given you creativity and he's given you choice. And God is saying to someone right now, and this is a word for someone, go for it. Try something. Build something. Like teach something. Go after it. Use your creativity. Use your ingenuity. Use that imagination you have. There is something that's coming to your mind, and here's what you're waiting on. You are waiting for something in a book somewhere. You are waiting for something to be written across the sky. You're waiting for a sign to start. And what I'm saying to you, God is saying, take initiative and go after it. I've put something in your hand. I've given you some ideas to use, and you keep stalling because you're saying, I don't see a word in the Bible on how to do that. And God is saying, the reason I gave you the idea and I gave you the creativity, I gave you the thing that I gave you is because I want you to use it and feel free to choose and to use your creativity and to do it in the way that matches you and your personality and your background and the way you are built. And a lot of us are waiting for a command, and we should be using our creativity. Because here is the thing. Listen, I'm not telling you not to pray, okay? And I'm not telling you not to seek wise counsel. But some of us are using prayer, and some of us are using this spiritual stuff as a way to delay taking action on what we know God has already given us. You got a story you're sitting on, and you know you should write it and put it in a book. And you are waiting and like, I don't have a command. Like, no, there's a reason you got the creativity you got. There's a reason you got the innovation you got. There's a reason you are built the way you are built so you can move forward and do something with what God has given you. And so many of us are waiting on God, and God is waiting on you. While you are waiting on God, God is waiting on you, saying, I already gave you all of the things that you need. You know, it's so interesting. Someone says it this way. It's like Adam in the garden when God put him among all the trees and basically told him, there's only one tree you can't touch, but go for it. imagine Adam's kind of saying here, like, man, God, I don't know which tree I should go with today. God is like, man, there's a whole garden in front of you. Go for it. And like some of us are waiting. No, go for it. Go forward and use your creativity. So multiplication, let me go back. Multiplication requires connection, and multiplication requires creativity. And here's the third thing I want to share. Multiplication requires us to build capacity. Multiplication requires us to build capacity. I'm going to slow down on this one because this may be the most important point for some of us today. The Bible says the master gave each one, verse 15, according to his ability. He knew each person, the person who he gave 5, 3, 2, and then 1. In other words, he knew what they could handle right now. He understood their capacity. He understood their makeup. He understood who they were as a person and what they could handle as a person. And he understood it in that moment. And here's what I want you to see about them. This capacity and what they were able to handle was not static. It was not forever. It was for the right now. And here's what happens, right? So the Bible tells us this master goes away. He gives each one according to their ability. And don't miss that. I want you to just kind of underline that in your mind. And if you got a Bible, underline that. According to their ability. Then he goes away. And the servants go and they multiply it. And so the Bible says the one that had 10, he tells him, well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over a little. I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your Lord. And he says later on, right, verse 28, so take the talent from him, the one that buried it, and give it to him who has 10 talents. So if he took from the one who had 1 and gave it to the one who has 10, how many talents did that person end up with at the end? Somebody just put that number in the comments for me. He started with 10, and he had 10, and he took from the one and gave it to him. How many talents does he end up with? How many talents does that servant end up with? How many talents does that servant end up with? And as you're putting that, here's what I want you to recognize. The servant was given 5 at the beginning, but at the end, he's holding 11 in his hand. And what the master is saying is, your ability at the beginning is to handle 5. Your ability at the end is to handle 11. 11. Servant at the beginning who has 2, he has grown to be a person that can now handle 4. And what we recognize is they didn't just do work, they became people capable of handling more. And that's what I want you to understand. They became someone, well, it was 11, right? 1 plus 10 is 11, Denise, right? So he had 11. But what I want you to understand is they became people who could handle more. And that's what I want you to realize. My friend Donnie Bentley says it this way. He says there are only 2 levels in life. There's this level and there's another level. There's this level and there's another level. And for many of us, the challenge and the reason we don't want to do the work that's required is because we don't want to pay the price to become the person that is able to handle what the next thing requires. So when I'm operating on 1 talent, it requires something from me. It requires me to be a certain type of person. But if I'm going to level up and get more responsibility, that means I have to become a person that can handle 2 talents. If I started off with 2 and I work and I now have 4, I have to become a person that can handle 4. And a person who handles 4 is different than the person I was when I was handling 2. I have to be more responsible. I have to take more initiative. I have to be more disciplined. I have to do and be more. The person who was handling 5 cannot be the same person who is handling 11. I have to build capacity, and that's the work. The work on the thing is hard. The work on you to become the person that it requires to do the thing that God has called you to do, that is harder. And that's the real work. It's the inner work that is the hard work. It's the inner work of becoming the person that can handle the thing that God has called you to do. Yes, Angela, leveling up. You see, on one level, I can use the excuse that I'm shy and I don't talk to people and I'm not good at sales and I'm not good at this and I'm not good. On one level, I can stay and I can hold on to my excuses. But to go to another level and to be the person that's not just handling 2 talents, but now handling 4, I have to lose some of my excuses. And I've got to do the work to become the person that can handle the greater responsibility. And that's the work. And for some of us, that work looks like reading. We got to read more and study more and put ourselves around people and places and learning environments that will elevate our thinking. It involves studying. For some of us, the work is the mindset work. It's us confronting and getting rid of our stinking thinking, the thinking that says you will never be able to do this, and the thinking that tells you that you can never become this, and the thinking that says you can't be an author and you can't be an entrepreneur and you can't build this type of business and you can't lead and you can't start something. The work is really the work on the mind that says I can become someone that can handle not just 10 talents, but now 11, because the person who is given that 11 at the end was not the person who started off with 5, because they were given it based on their ability. And by the time the master came back, not only had he made more, he had built his capacity to be able to handle more. The master could have taken the 5 from him, given it to someone else, and said, now I know you can handle 5, so stay with 5. But he says, no, I know that not only can you handle 10, you can handle 1 more. I can give you 11 because you've become a different person. That's the work. The work might involve you getting a coach to guide you and keep you accountable and help you build the discipline. And here is some of the work that we don't want to confront. The work might be getting up after disappointment, pushing through when things don't go the way you want it to go. That's the work. The work isn't when everything's going well. The work is when things aren't going well, saying, I'm going to keep going even when things aren't going well, because that's where you begin to grow. I've heard this quote. It says, all work works. All work works. It either works for you or it works in you. But all work works. And so for all of us on here today, what I want to challenge you is God has called you to multiply what he's given you. He's called you not to hide it, not to play small, not to hide behind humility. And listen, I want you to audit your language today and for the rest of this week. When someone gives you a compliment, when someone says you can do something, when someone affirms you on the things that you're good at, when you hear something, if your natural reaction is to say something that sounds like, oh, well, that's not a big deal, and oh, I don't really have much, stop thinking that is virtuous. No, that is your hiding coming out there. And I want to say to you, God has called you to multiplication. And multiplication is going to require you to connect with others. You can bury it by yourself. You cannot multiply it by yourself. Multiplication is going to require creativity from you. The master did not give them the full script of what to do. The master said, use your brain, use your creativity. What do you think you should do with it? Then do it, because I'm a creator and I don't make anyone who does not have creativity. If you think I'm not a creative person, you are saying that the God you serve did not make you in his image. You are a creative person, so go create. Use your creativity. And the last thing that multiplication requires is you to build your capacity. You cannot stay the same person. If you want to handle more responsibility, you've got to grow personally. You got to level up. And maybe you've been comfortable because where you are on the level you are and the responsibility you are and what you're doing, what you have, has not required you to do any personal development because you can do that job and do that work and do the thing you're doing and lead the ministry you're leading with your eyes closed. You can do it with your eyes closed. And God is saying, I want you to level up. I want you to invest in your own development. I want you to push yourself outside your comfort zone. I want you to intentionally grow. And growth means reading, it means studying, it means signing up for something, it means getting a coach, it means doing mindset work, it means breaking up with your excuses. So I want to just say to someone today, it's time to grow. And someone type this in the comments for me. Do the work. That's my call to action to you. Do the work. Van Dion, you might remember that. Do the work. Do the work of connection. Do the work of creativity. Do the work of building capacity. Do the work because what God has given you deserves more than a hole in the ground, right? What God has given you deserves more than you just burying it. Do the work. Do the work. So, yesterday we gave reason number one, and we said it was because we don't know the value of what we have. Hey, Eric, do the work. Today it's we don't want to do the work that's required. And that work is the work of connection, is the work of creativity, and it's the work of building capacity. Listen, I want to share something with you real quick before I head off of here, because I want to give you an opportunity to get connected, an opportunity to build some capacity. Uh, 4 individuals, myself and 3 others, we are hosting the Monetize Your Ministry Challenge from June the 14th to the 18th. And it's an opportunity to help you to get clear on what you have. We will work with you. And some of you are saying, I don't know what I have, Kimo. I got you. We're going to help you do some exercises and get some feedback to say, here's what I have. The second thing we're going to do is help you to put it into a format package that people can say, yes, I want to pay you for that. So we want to help you to learn what to do with it. And then we're going to teach you how to put it out into the world. We are going to help you to do the work. If you want to get connected, you'll be connected with us and a community of people. That's the work. We're going to help you tap into your creativity. That's some work. And we're going to help you to build capacity because one of the ways you build capacity is investing in you. And there's an investment for this, right? And I want to encourage you to do the VIP level. It's only a $49 investment. So go to monetizeyourministrychallenge.com, monetizeyourministrychallenge.com. Can someone put that link in the chat? Spell the whole thing now, monetizeyourministrychallenge.com. Don't put any spaces, monetizeyourministrychallenge.com. We'll be there June 14th to June 18th. It's $49 for the rest of this week. Next week, the price goes up. And I want to encourage you to join ASAP at that price because the first 50 get a special bonus. So, monetizeyourministrychallenge.com. That is a way for you to start doing the work of building connection, building creativity, building capacity. Monetizeyourministrychallenge.com, monetizeyourministrychallenge.com. Let me just throw this up here so you can see. It's myself, Dr. Myron Edmonds, Pierre Quinn, Athena Shack, June 14 to 18, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. for VIPs. You get replays for 7 days, and we work with you on how to package what you have in a way that can make income and make impact. Really, the goal is to help you maximize what God has given you, to multiply it so that you can see greater impact, greater income, greater influence. All right, monetizeyourministrychallenge.com. All right, good folks. I'll be back tomorrow. My goal is to be on at 7 a.m. So I'm going to set my alarm a little bit earlier, be prepared a little bit earlier. But if this live has been a blessing to you, share it with someone. Share it on your page. Copy the link, send it to someone, tag someone in it. Let them be inspired as well because there are too many of us who are sitting and burying what God has given us and hiding it. And I just want to challenge us. Do the work. All right. That's our word for today. Do the work. Do the work. Thank you, Angela. Yeah, that word monetize is a little tricky. So it is monetize, MONE. Let me put the banner up. So it's monetize with an E. Monetizeyourministrychallenge.com. Monetizeyourministrychallenge.com. Click that link, go to that link, and we will see you in the challenge. We'll see you on the 14th. And I'll be back tomorrow, 7 a.m. Eastern. We'll talk about the third reason why we are hiding what God has given us. Have a great rest of your day.